There's something coming just around the bend. I can hear the sound of mighty rushing wind. As the sun only sets to rise again one more time. And what goes around will come around again.
Hello everyone, I'm Jim Edwards,
And I'm Becky Blanton.
and we welcome you to On the Road this week in Kingsport, Tennessee, and we're going to be talking to Don Campbell. And Don is it executive director?
Just the director.
Just the director
Just the yep.
of the Marsh Regional Blood Center here in Kingsport. And Don, thank you for being with us because we've been looking forward to taping this show for quite a while with regards to donations of blood. And we need to find out so much about it. So let's just get started. First of all, where did the Marsh Regional Blood Center start? How did it get underway?
So it's a neat little story. We were started in 1947 at Holston Valley Hospital. It was started by a little lady named Lois Marsh. Her husband had been a World War II veteran, had come back with some blood-related issues from combat wounds, and she started the first blood bank, hospital-based blood bank in the state of Tennessee.
My goodness. All right. Well, that's a very interesting
Pretty
story.
special
Yeah.
at that age of the time for a female to have that too.
Definitely,
That's true.
absolutely. And then to look where you are today. And actually, where are you today with the Marsh Center?
Today we cover 15 counties of Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, 19 hospitals, and almost 30,000 units a year that we will turn around and be able to provide to this community.
My goodness.
But then in emergencies for other blood banks, you will ship even outside that area.
Absolutely. We take care of our home first, and that's the give here, help here. But as a blood center, blood donors don't really care who receives their product. They just want to give this gift of life. So anyone who would ever need it, if we could help them, we would love to be able to help.
And that was the new theme for a long time, wasn't it? Or maybe still the theme, give the gift of life, donate blood.
Absolutely. Still
Yeah.
is, yes.
And that's still true today.
It is true. I mean, when you think about what we do, we can only accomplish that through the gift of the individuals who come spend 15 minutes to an hour with us.
My goodness. So that's all it takes to donate some blood?
From start to finish, we should be able to get you done in about 45 minutes. The actual part of the donation should be about 5 to 15 minutes. Yes, sir.
How long does it actually take for the blood to come out of you into what it's saved into, the receptacle?
About 5 to 15
About
minutes.
5 to
Mhm.
15 minutes, okay.
Yep. And so it reads pretty quickly. Some folks are faster, some folks are slower. Depends on the size of your vein.
Oh, okay.
Depends on your blood pressure.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh,
the higher
wow.
your blood pressure, the faster it's going to come out.
Oh, wow, okay. Let me ask you this, Don. A lot of people think it's just a simple process to donate blood, and then it goes out, and it's like, okay, I give a pint of blood, or however much you can at one time. Then you take it in the, for lack of a better word, the bag, let's say receptacle, and it doesn't like pick it up here and then take it to the hospital now. It has to go through a process.
It does, and you saw a little bit of that today. Is
Yeah.
it will actually take a little over 24 hours for any donation today before we can actually receive it into our inventory and ship it to the hospitals. And during that time, it will be split into 3 different products. It will be tested for various regulatory issues that everyone goes through, and it will be not until tomorrow around 2 o'clock if you donated today before we can release that unit. So it's a lot of steps and processes. It's not as simple as stick a needle in your arm and it comes out in Becky's arm.
Yeah. Now,
You wouldn't want that anyway, would you, Becky?
No.
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 But the process is in blood. You've got plasma and you've got platelets and so forth. Tell us about that.
Everybody's body has all those components, and you'll have plasma, you'll have a red cell, you have a platelet, you'll have your white cells. So that's in everybody's body. So when we say you can save 3 lives, downstairs in our component processing area, they will take out the plasma, they'll take out the platelets, and they'll take out the red cells and separate them into 3 different products. So the gift of that you give today could actually end up saving 3 separate lives during the process.
My goodness.
When you donate blood, how soon can you turn around and donate it again?
It's 56 days, so it's 8 weeks.
Oh, wow. For just one.
For one
What is the maximum amount that you can donate at one time?
It is a pint, as you said.
It's a pint, okay.
Sure thing.
All
And
right.
you can donate 6 times a year is the maximum number of donations you can.
Don, you touched on downstairs it's separated. Separation process as to, as you just mentioned, the red cells, white cells, etc. And at one point, there were, and maybe there still are, facilities that will buy plasma. Is that still in effect today?
Oh, and actually, we have plasma. Is the plasma that we have, some of it is used in the human body because in a case of a trauma, if the individual is bleeding rapidly, they need to get fluids in there quickly. They use our
okay.
plasma. That's what they would use. And then some of the plasma that we can't use is actually it's sent to a different company, and they have a different purpose for it.
Now, the areas that you service, is that the correct word, service
is,
or
sure.
work with? You said it was in 15,000 square feet?
I believe it's
miles?
15,000 square miles.
Yeah.
Square
And-
miles.
Huh?
Square miles.
Square miles. And then, so this Marsh Regional Blood Center here in Kingsport services that area,
Right.
including hospitals. Do you work with clinics also?
We do. We have, yes, it's 19 hospitals and healthcare facilities in that region. And we extend from Hancock County, north to Buchanan County, east to Unicoi. And so every hospital in that area that we have covered, including the VA we serve as a backup supplier.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so if they have an emergent need, their supplier is based out of Charlotte. If it takes 5 hours to get a product, it's not necessarily an emergency. So we gift it to them for the veterans, as we're a Navy household ourselves, so we get that covered. And in exchange, they hold 2 blood drives on campus. And so it's
Wow.
it's the way a community blood center should work.
Yeah.
Does their blood drive, when they have it, do they send you the blood or do they send it on to theirs?
The 2 that we have with them comes here, and then they do 2 separate with their other vendor.
Oh, okay.
Now, can hospitals, well, no, obviously they cannot. I was going to say hospitals can't do like you do here at the Marsh Regional Blood Center, accept donations of blood. They
They
could
can't direct you to us.
They can direct you. Okay.
They can.
Yeah.
They could suggest it.
Yeah,
And
okay.
hospitals are very good partners. Holston Valley is our parent hospital, and I have to give them a lot of credit. 3 or 4 years ago, they were doing 200 donations a year, which sounds like a lot, but with 2,000 employees and 6 times a year,
Oh, my
that
goodness.
doesn't sound like that many.
No, it doesn't.
They've made some changes, and they now do 1,300 units a year.
Oh, wow. Good deal.
And how old do you have to be to give, or can you be too old to give?
You know, there is no top end. There is, as long as you feel healthy, well, and you meet the medical the criteria, you can donate blood. And I believe our oldest is an 85-year-old that had it on his bucket list, and he
Really?
had never donated. This is what he did.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
The bottom end is 17.
Yeah.
In fact, we have a 17-year-old today, his first donation coming in here. Pretty simple criteria, and people think it's hard, but as long as you are at least 17, weigh at least 110 pounds, and feel healthy and well today, you can try. Then there's medications. If you're taking an antibiotic, you can't give for 7 days. Some medications defer you longer than that. Some make it so that you can't ever donate blood. Pretty easy though.
It
and,
is. Yeah.
And once we donate, then you still check it for other things.
We do indeed. We are mandated by the FDA, so there's a federal regulatory agency. So every unit, every single time, receives the same tests.
When you get somebody that wants to donate and they come over here or wherever, maybe with the blood mobile, as they call it, I think.
It is.
Is there an application form, or you have to take their word, and then once it's sent off, you'll find out?
Well, you're a volunteer blood donor.
Okay,
So there's
yeah.
a lovely 52-question questionnaire
Oh,
that
okay.
you have to fill out. But even at that, we're still going to check it.
Yeah. Now, some of the blood that you take, or well, actually all of it is tested. Are there corporations or facilities that look for blood with certain types of maybe some kind of diseases, or you don't know until you get it and they check it, then they would take it to that point?
There are, because you may have a certain disease that it makes you ineligible to donate here, but you want to help, and you're healthy, you're fine, and so there are agencies that are doing investigations to develop vaccines, develop cures for those cancer patients and otherwise, and they need product to be able to test.
If somebody donates and they don't know it until the blood is sent off to be separated, tested, or however it is, and they have the HIV, whichever, and that is discovered, is that person contacted and told that they cannot use their blood, or could they still use it for test purposes?
No, we send them a letter that would have to be through registered mail that would let you know that you have had this condition identified
I
through
see.
our testing
Yeah.
process, and you're unable to donate blood, and suggest you seek medical
Yeah,
care and
okay,
treatment from that
sure.
standpoint.
Now, do you do that on like hepatitis C also?
Sure do. Anything that would disqualify you from our regulatory issues gets that same letter.
But then I could still go over to one of these research centers and talk to them.
Quite possibly. Sure could.
Hi folks, I'm Jonathan here for Sexton's Used Cars, and if you've got a big family or a lot of cargo, a van is the safest way to go, and Sexton's Used Cars has got the lowest prices in town, like the 2003 Dodge Caravan Sport, well equipped, excellent Carfax, 2-owner and low mileage for only $44.95. And if you're looking for something that's going to get you there and back safely, try the 2004 Ford Explorer. It's 4-wheel drive and fully loaded for only $54.95. So call, click, or come by and see me, Mike, or Aaron here at Sexton's Used Cars, located on the corner of West State Street and 12th, Bristol, Tennessee, and buy you next from Sexton.
Hello and welcome to Village Drapery. Let's go on a tour of our store. Here is our selection of grommet panels. We have 6 styles to choose from, all at $19.99 per panel. Looking for valances and top treatments? Try our large selection. We still sell pinch-pleated draperies and the hardware as well. Village Discount Drapery, 215 Raytheon Road, Bristol, Tennessee.
ARC-TV, Appalachian Regional Community Television, presents a variety of programs about religion, education, government, the economy, the environment, public affairs, public events, high school and college sports, and the performing arts. Visit the ARC-TV website at arctv.org. Keep up with what's happening in your community by watching ARC-TV. We're out there. The Boat Doctors continues the offer of a free trailer valued at $3,600 or reduce that amount from the price of a new in-stock Hurricane deck boat. Big savings on a demonstration Polarcraft bass boat with Pro 175 F70 Yamaha motor, $16,700. Coming soon, Legend Alpha 211 and 199 bass boats with Yamaha motors. Receive over $30,000 in bonus cash by winning a Legend-sponsored bass tournament. Details at the Boat Doctors, 2528 Volunteer Parkway, next to Twin City Drive-In Theater, Bristol, Tennessee. Now, you're talking about, and it's very interesting to me how you mentioned how you give a pint of blood, but then that blood is taken and it's separated in different things coming out of it. Because growing up and even now you look at a pint of blood and you think, well, that's blood and that's it. But there are other things in it that it's interesting for what those things do.
And it's the wonders of the human body.
Yeah.
I mean, blood is, again, one of those things that despite all the technological advances we have, we cannot recreate this product.
Right.
Now, when we were looking around, there's a couple of people that are giving blood and it's going into 3 different containers.
Yes.
And it separates it as it comes out of their arm?
No, they do that downstairs. As they will use a centrifuge and an expressor and separate it out into 3 different bags based upon the product type. That's why they're really good at what they do. So we do that here, and it's all stored here in Kingsport, and then the blood has a shelf life of only 42 days. So if we don't use it in that 42 days period of time, it must be destroyed.
Wow.
Now
But
that's,
we only, got to remember, so we only outdate less than 1% of all the product we collect. Less than 1% we do not use.
Okay. Yeah.
now you said though that the platelets have a
5-day shelf life.
5 day,
5 days.
and are most of those used up?
Yes, they are. In
Wow.
fact, a lot of our platelets is you'll give today, they take a little bit longer, and so it has the 24 hours to test, another 24 hours to sit. So it really ends up with just 3 days on the shelf. Many of those are brought into inventory today and shipped out tomorrow. Unfortunately, there's a pretty significant usage for it.
Yeah, my goodness. And I guess platelets could be used for any type of need for blood or whatever, like accidents or whatever.
It's your clotting factor.
Yeah, clotting factor,
And
okay.
so for traumas, a lot of times cardiovascular patients and cancer patients, predominantly those that receive our platelets.
Yeah. Now, you have collection hours, of course, here at the Marsh Regional Blood Center. What would they be for the folks that are watching it? I say, well, I want to go over there.
Sure. It's Mondays and Thursdays, we're open 10:30 to 6. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're open 8:30 to 4. And then we're open the first Saturday of every month to keep those folks who can't make it during the week but still would like to donate blood.
Well, you took us out and showed us this beautiful van that you had bought. That's huge.
Van, that looks like a bus.
Yeah, it is, exactly.
But when you're out, do you advertise where you're going to be so that if it's inconvenient for me to get over here to Kingsport, that I could go into your bus.
We should. We actually do several different things. Is you'll see it's usually in the newspaper advertised where we'll be every day. We have a Facebook page that tells us every day where we'll be. And if today the bus is heading up to Food City in St. Paul, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
And so we'll advertise within the Food City, and then we'll also contact all the folks who have donated there before to let them know we will be there that particular day. So it's a combination effort. And you know probably they say the biggest reason people don't donate blood is
No, what is it?
no one ever asked.
Oh,
No one
really?
ever said,
kidding.
would you like to donate blood? And then
Really?
it becomes, well, I don't scare the needles and I have this and that. But
Yeah.
until you ask, no one, because you've never been touched by the need. You
Well,
don't realize that
that's true,
it's a
yeah.
special gift of our product. And
Very good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that-
Well, you folks watching, that's a good point Don just made. If you don't ask, then, well, what I'm trying to say is ask.
Close the sale, isn't that what they
Yeah,
say?
that's it.
Come
Close
on
the sale.
back.
Yeah, come on down. Absolutely. So, okay, well, that's a good thought. Folks in their particular area that are seeing the show could go to a center or maybe a hospital and say, how do I get in touch with them over there? Or, well, actually, you just said a Facebook.
Facebook, yes.
So James will throw that up on the screen for you. Just say, what is it? The Facebook address.
It's Marsh Blood.
Marsh Blood. That's
And
it.
That's it.
But, you know, there's a lot of people out there that want to help that don't feel like they can, but this is a way that they could help, and it's not going to cost them anything other than the time.
It take about an hour of your time, and as I said earlier, I'm not smart enough to save a life, but I can give a product that I know has the potential to save a life.
Yeah.
And I won't miss it. I know I'm going to be fine afterwards. It doesn't bother me to donate blood, and I can come back again in 56 days, or platelet donations or 10 days, and do it again if I would like.
Right. And the miracle of the body is you're donating a pint of blood. I guess the heart's pumping to put it right back so that you don't miss it.
And actually, there is some research that says donating blood on a regular basis is healthy for you.
Really?
Okay, you just said you can donate platelets every 10 days?
See, the 56-day deferral period we have is because you'll recover your platelets in about 5 to 10 days. You'll recover your plasma in about 2 weeks, and you recover your red cells in another 2 to 4 weeks after that. And then we give you 2 weeks afterwards to make sure that you're fully healthy to donate again for another time.
Well,
Okay.
how do you draw just the platelets out?
I think we're going to do that another time, but what that is that I'm going to show you a special machine that all it does, it takes the blood and spins it right then and there into a platelet, a plasma, and a red cell, and it returns your plasma and your red cells and just keeps your platelet.
Oh,
Okay.
it returns it into your body
Sure
right
does.
then.
It's a completely
Oh.
sterile process, and so a lot of folks feel even better on that one because you don't have the loss of a product that you have when you
Yeah.
donate blood.
That's what you were talking about, I guess, seeing the 3 tubes coming out of the arm, and then we did see an area where there was a gentleman there, and there were 3 receptacles, and so that's
Oh,
where
gotcha.
the separation comes in. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, that one occurs right there on the machine.
Yeah.
Whereas blood, we do it downstairs.
I see.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, now we're at Marsh Regional Blood Center in Kingsport, Tennessee, on this edition of On the Road. I'm Jim Edwards.
And I'm Becky Blanton.
And this is Don Campbell, or he's Don Campbell, and he is the director of the center. And I'm guessing that this is like a full-time job for you.
It is.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that even when I joined our team, I thought I understood what it meant.
Yeah.
And then I got here and I realized the scope was so much larger than what we have, and that the areas that we go to, the folks' lives that we get to touch, the opportunities that we provide our community and the people receiving the product from our community, and the generosity of it. We talked earlier, high school kids.
Yeah.
That just fascinates me.
That's amazing. You're right.
They're so good. 15% of our overall collections are from high school students.
That's amazing. That's tremendous. Do you have any type of friendly competitions anywhere along the way, or
We
throw it
do.
out there for the schools to say, I can give 100 gallons?
We have several schools who they compete against each other.
Yeah.
They'll issue challenges. Works really well around football, because if you have a special football game, you could have 2 schools challenge each other, and that's
Oh,
part of the whole process.
There you go. Sure.
We give red cords away, so if you're a senior and you donate 3 times before you graduate, you get to wear a red cord signifying that you're a blood donor.
Wow, that's amazing.
Okay, if we were having a football game and I'm there, that I can tell them, well, I'm for this team or this team, and it counts for them.
Yes, it does.
Oh, all right. We'll have to start going to football games then.
Or if we're there, or just any donation through the course of the week too. We were at a high school And I don't know if you want to mention, but Cloudland High School,
Oh, sure.
I'd love to give them some publicity.
Absolutely.
You know, if you think about it, 45 seniors, and we had 125 people come to that blood drive on Monday.
My
And
goodness,
Fantastic.
wait a minute, how did you do that?
Well,
Well, the whole
students,
school, of course, yeah,
whole
okay.
school. Students, we had a lot of
Yeah.
students last year came back to give again this year because they liked it. Teachers and parents, because there's again a competition that
Uh-huh.
the schools that have the highest donation percentage receive a grant, and so there is
Wow.
a little bit of an incentive for them to
Sure.
be successful.
So a student could actually receive a grant for college by donating blood?
Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
I had
All
a
right.
gentleman last year, one of his scholarships, said that was the easiest scholarship I ever won. All I had to do was just stick my arm out.
Hey, let's squeeze a little ball
Squeeze
for
a little
you.
ball.
And you know, every little grant helps.
It does.
Sure.
Because the grants don't have to be paid back like a student loan.
That's right,
And I
yeah.
have 4 in college right now, 2 in undergrad, 2 in college. So I go
Oh, my
or in grad
goodness.
school. So yes, every little bit
Yeah,
helps.
Every little bit.
So you're encouraging the kids, go donate,
Honestly, you know,
yeah.
often as you can.
Now, does this carry over into college?
We're working on that.
Working
right
on
now.
that,
We're
okay.
our high school kids have been really good to us, and we try to be good back to them.
Sure.
But we realize that our colleges have been equally good to us,
Yeah.
and we should be equally good back to them.
Right.
Now, when you were telling us about the high school kids, you did mention that you prefer the 17-year-olds.
Yes.
But that you have on occasion taken the 16-year-old.
No, we actually do not.
You do not?
From regulations, if you're 16, you can donate blood. But we choose not to take 16-year-olds. We would rather you be a little bit more physiologically mature, and hopefully that your donation, your first donation, is successful and positive, so you'll become a lifetime blood donor.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, good. deal.
Donating once is good.
Yeah.
Donating for the rest of your life is really good.
It's awesome,
great.
yeah, absolutely, you're
We
right.
have folks who have achieved, multiple gallons. I believe our largest is close to 50 gallons.
My goodness,
my.
wow.
How much blood does the body hold?
You have a bit, depending on your size, but anywhere between 8 to 12 pints.
Yeah, 8 to 12 pints, wow, my goodness.
Just thinking, they've given 50
Yeah.
gallons.
Of that,
And so it's
Over.
what, 8 pints per gallon. So
Yeah.
think how many times they've done it.
yeah, my
And
goodness.
blood donors are really, really special folks. Is once
Sure.
they get hooked, they love it, and they come back every 56 days. They show up
Right on schedule.
right on schedule.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm okay. I'm good. And
Yeah,
here I
that's
am.
it, yeah.
Do you ever find yourself, we were talking about different types, like O negative being the universal donor blood. Do you ever find yourself having to look through your records and contact somebody on that, ask them for help?
Unfortunately, that does happen on occasion. Usually, it happens for us would be during the summers and during the holidays. And if
Oh,
you think about
yeah.
what's not there during summers and holidays, it's our high school kids. We
Oh,
miss those high school
sure.
donations
Yeah.
because we're not going to the schools. So occasionally, we will run low on inventory based upon a trauma that's out there.
Yeah.
There was a week or so, well, actually about a month or so ago, one of our hospitals used 300 products in a single weekend.
Wow.
For one trauma that came up.
Oh, my goodness.
So occasionally we will run low and we'll contact those donors. I don't like the saying that we're in a critical need for a certain product,
Right.
though. So
Yeah.
very rarely will we ever ask that. And I do that for 2 reasons. One is that folks need to be comfortable that we will provide the product for them. And 2 is if you're in the hospital and you hear there's a critical need of this blood type and you know your spouse or your child is going to have surgery with that blood type, it's a little scary.
It would
Sure.
be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would be.
right.
So we don't like doing that.
Yeah.
So we would prefer to have regular donations to keep our inventory at the high level and never have to ask people to come in case of an emergency.
All right, good deal. Now, we've set the stage for you, and we're going to move to other departments here at the Marsh Regional Blood Center in Kingsport and find out a little bit more about the process. So can we go over to the other area now?
Let's go for a ride.
All right, let's go.
Hi folks, I'm Jonathan here for Sexton's Used Cars. Wintertime is on the way, so get prepared now with your all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles. And what better way to do it than with an all-wheel drive luxury SUV like the 2004 Lincoln Aviator, well equipped, tons of extras for only $74.95. And if you're looking for dependability, try the 2002 Honda Odyssey EX. It's got power windows, power sliding doors with an excellent Carfax for only $49.95. So call, click, or come in and see me, Mike, and Aaron here at Sexton's Used Cars, located on the corner of West State Street and 12th, Bristol, Tennessee, and buy your next one from Sexton.
Great news for bluegrass and traditional country music fans. You now have 2 locations in the Tri-Cities to enjoy your favorite music by your favorite local bands. Mount Music Showcase is now taped each Monday from 6:30 until 8:30 p.m. at the Crooked Road General Store, 6292 Gate City Highway, Bristol, Virginia. And each Saturday from 5:30 till 7:30 p.m. at the Old Barn Restaurant, 440 Okolona Road in Johnson City, Tennessee. Bands who would like to perform at either or both locations, call 423-914-2316. If the fall season reminds you that you're ready to buy an affordable, reliable automobile, visit Carl's Auto. Carl's Auto has over 80 SUVs, trucks, vans, and cars in stock. If your need is for family or work, Carl's has a vehicle to meet that need. Financing at Carl's through your bank, credit union, buy here, pay here, and guaranteed approval by credit acceptance. Carl's Auto, exit 69 off I-81 at 105 Franklin Drive, Blunteville, Tennessee. When you visit Carl's Auto, be sure to tell them Jim sent you.
I'm almost done. And I know 30 seconds seems like forever when you're doing this. I have people look at me and say,
I'm just wondering why 30 seconds. It looks like once you put it on there that it would keep working.
that's FDA and AABB regulation, and that's just a bullseye. This is a little bit stronger than the first one, so we make a little bullseye for it.
Oh,
And
okay.
then what I do is I set up my bag, and we get 3 products off this. We get red blood cells, platelets, and plasma. So when it goes to our processing area, they will spin it down and get the product off of it. And what I usually do is tell people at this point, if you don't want to watch, now's the time to turn away, if you don't want to see what's going on. So, and then I also will tighten this up, and what this does is just puts pressure. I'm afraid I'm going to mess up your shirt. Let's do that. It puts pressure on the vein to hold it up so that we can get it stuck. So gently squeeze and hold. And I'm not going to take the cap off of it, just since we're doing this. But normally I'd take the cap off of it. We would take it and stick it in. I want to tape it down right here. You can relax the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cover it up.
If he doesn't smoke, he fails once.
Then we start the machine, and we get blood down in this bag, and it's what we get the tubes out of. We test for hepatitis, HIV, sexually transmitted diseases. At certain times of the year, we test for West Nile. So once I get this to get all my tubes, then we break this open, and the blood will go down in there. And on average, it takes about anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes for a person to get blood. Depends on how good the stick is and how well you're in there and how big the vein is. If you're hydrated really good, that helps. Sometimes if the blood pressure's up a little bit, it will make it go a little bit faster.
Well, what do you think about that? How you doing there, partner?
I'm doing fine.
All right. Well, donation of blood by Becky.
Well, now we're going to let you donate.
All right, we'll do that next week. As a matter of fact, we will join you for another show covering the activities of the Marsh Regional Blood Center, and we're going to be joining you from Bristol, I understand it. So for now, my partner gets over her donation today. I'll say thank you for being with us. I'm Jim Edwards.
And I'm Becky Blanton.
And we'll see you next time somewhere on the road.